Hi guys, Shane Nguyen here. I got two amazing guests here with us today. The purpose of doing this video is just to make sure that all agents out there who are searching or looking for questions and wanting to find more tools out there to learn more, just to be relevant, to be productive in this market, challenge market. I have two amazing guest speakers today. First, Valerie, Vice President and Sales Manager of Chicago Title. I have Say hi, Valerie.
Hi.
And then I also have Julie, Vice President, Sales Manager of Fidelity National Title. Both great people and both dear friends of mine. So how are you guys doing today?
Good. This is my second Zoom for the day, so I'm very Zoom friendly right now.
Yeah, it seems like Zoom is like a new vocabulary that we use pretty much every day.
Yeah. Just don't look at me from the waist down. Just
Don't block, please.
Oh, I love it.
So I always use the term, who are you Zooming today? Well,
yeah.
I'm going to be Zooming Steve Lee, and the next day I'm going to be Zooming Dave Tina. So Zooming is our new lives now.
Yeah. I love it.
So let's talk
about it, the way we're working.
Excuse me.
Oh, I said, Shane, we love it. It's the way that we're working today, and just want to thank you, Shane, for pulling us together and being here with Valerie, great partner in our, where we work for really the same company in essence. But Shane, you're such a model for keeping it going out there for the real estate community. So just hats off to you for that.
Thank you very much. It's all about sharing information and giving hopes to all the agents out there and helping any agents who's looking for an answer. Hopefully we have answers for them today with these awesome tools that we're about to talk about. Let's talk about current openings and cancellation. One of the rumors I heard was, and I'm sure it's a rumor, but you can verify this, that after Monday, Tuesday, when they shut down, more than 50%, or that same week, more than 50% got canceled. Is that true?
I know Julie can attest as well. We're pretty transparent with our numbers within the F&F brands, but we actually have had the highest number of openings that we have seen at Chicago Title for the past probably 10 years or more. So even after, the original couple of weeks of the pandemic and everybody's still kind of into shock and actually looking at this a little bit more closely, our openings are still increased. Now, granted, towards the latter part of the month, we ended up seeing more refis and a lot more refi heavy than resale. But overall, the transactions have been the highest that they have been in over the past 10 years. Now, granted, I think you and I talked about this earlier. I think you're going to see probably a little bit of, what we're feeling right now, the panic and the fear 2 months from now, but people are still opening, people are still doing business, people are finding a way to capitalize on these low rates. So we don't want to, alarm anyone because we are still seeing it. Julie and I are seeing it every single day, and our units are just bombarded. We're adapting to the new norm. And so that's kind of what our life is right now, is still opening and closing and business as usual, the best that we can within the social distance guidelines. So we have not seen that as of yet.
No, we haven't, Val. And I'm just right on track with you on that. In the last few days, I think we've seen a little dip in openings. Mm-hmm. I don't think we've seen the true cancellations yet come through, Shane. And maybe the lenders and the agents are busy getting the escrows closed that we do have in the door. And like Chicago, Fidelity just saw a huge increase in numbers coming in March. So with what our company's done and with social distancing and really, well, I want to take a moment. I hope everybody gives a shout out and a virtual hug to your escrow officer and your notary right now. I know Chicago and Fidelity, we're doing an incredible job, our sister brands as well, but wow, they send them a virtual hug today, because I'm going to say they're on the front lines with this, and they're just really, really doing an amazing job. But we're seeing just a slow trickle in cancellation, and maybe that changes tomorrow because it's the last day of the month. Maybe then, the lenders look at, okay, which of these refis are going to actually make it? Because because we do have to look at what our city is going through.
Mhm.
And, you know, on that note, prayers and hugs to everybody. We all have families that work in the casino industry, that work in every industry that has been affected by this in town. And so just thinking of you guys on that.
Right now, obviously, we don't do business the same way anymore. It's so different. So how do you do your signings when you bring the clients together? What do you do to make sure that everybody's safe, they feel safe coming in or sign? Or do you don't do signing in the office, or how does that work, and how do we record nowadays?
I think, as Julie mentioned, the notaries have been just amazing. Just last week I was in the office and I looked out my window, and it's basically like curbside pickup that the restaurants are doing. And it's as funny as it looks. It's actually pretty efficient. I mean, we're seeing how fast the signings are going right now, because many of the units are docu-signing everything that doesn't need to be notarized. And even so, there's been a lot of lenders lifting the ban of like having some docs notarized, and even internally our systems, some things that we would normally have notarized, we're kind of waiving it and just going with a docu-sign signature and only notarizing what the lender needs, which is the note and the deed of trust primarily. So it's been really efficient, surprisingly. But like Julie said, hats off to the notaries who are out there doing it, going to the curb, you know, actually doing these signings and doing them effectively as well. So I think the DocuSign has definitely helped out a lot. And I think the curbside, trying to minimize exposure with the social distancing, is definitely a big key in how we're signing right now. Julie can speak in terms of the e-record process, but as far as the signing process, it's been pretty efficient, and we've been just marveling at the way the units have come together and the way the escrow and the notaries have actually come together, and making sure that this is streamlining the process as fast as, you know, and with compassion, because many people don't want to come into the office. Many people don't want, you know, notaries in their home. So even going out to the porch and pulling up to their home, it's definitely just the new norm, but everybody's adapting and everybody is in it together, which has been really nice because we're all on the same page, right? So it's not like, you know, everybody's just leading with compassion versus opportunity, which is, it's been really eye-opening and heartening to see.
Wow, that's well said, Val. I like that, leading with compassion. And it's interesting because a lot of our agents and lenders didn't realize we've been e-recording for some time now. So we got a little scare when the recorder's office, the Clark County Recorder's Office, closed their doors to the public a couple weeks ago. And that was just closing into foot traffic coming in. So we had been e-recording probably 95% of our documents. And I believe our last e-recording in the afternoon is at 4 o'clock with our brand. So it just means from 4 to 5, we're not running down physically recording those closings that didn't make it, that sometimes still happen. But really for recordings and closings, business has continued like normal. And I will actually, when Valerie and I speak on that, we're talking about our brands and the Fidelity brands as a whole, Chicago and Fidelity. But I will say what our company has put in place, and Valerie and I have been with Chicago and Fidelity for quite a while now. It's been very comforting to see this continuity plan of action in emergencies. That, you know, whether it's a earthquake, tornado, or terrorist act, or whatever they were ready for, and getting prepared behind the scenes, what our company has done to ensure first the safety of its employees and safety of you, our clients, and your consumers. And that's where our group of title companies has done just an amazing job. So somebody had to probably put together this plan years ago, spend a lot of money on it, and some were like, do we really have to have that? And thank goodness we did, because we're considered an essential business, and we're very vital, and the real estate agents and lenders as well. So blessed to be a part of that team.
Excellent. So let's talk about the tools that we can help out agents nowadays. So the number one tools, obviously, that everybody's talking about is the Zoom. Um, there are many new agents still don't know how to use Zoom or what to do with Zoom, and there's just so many features out there. Do you want to talk about it, Julie or Valerie?
Go ahead, Jill.
Sure. So how great for our sales execs and the real estate agents, the lenders, and now the real estate agents reaching out to their consumers. We had one of our sales execs, Jocelyn, on the team yesterday, did a training for just our sales team on all these areas of Zoom that we really weren't aware of, all the security issues, some extra fun stuff you can just layer in and just help us be better prepared to serve our clients and to serve the consumers. So I know both Valerie and I are rolling out some great classes with our sales execs with that. Zoom is the new normal.
Zoom is the new belly to belly, right?
Yeah, this is how we do business, and people want to see your face. I kind of read somewhere, it was funny the other day, on so many great people to follow right now, but they said if you show up to a Zoom meeting and you don't show up in person, where it's just your name on there, it's kind of like coming to an actual face-to-face meeting with the bag over your head. So for those of us that are like, oh, well, I'll kind of just listen in and I won't participate. I would rethink that. Reach out to our teams. We'll help you with all the little extra stuff you should know, because there are some security issues with Zoom.
Yes.
And some of us scramble. We get that email and then we're digging through that email to jump on the Zoom link. And then we're like, where is it? I saw it, because I've done that before as well. There's ways to be better prepared and prepared for the Zoom meetings you have that day, and to engage with your clients face to face. So we're excited to help the real estate and lending community with that.
I was going to say, I think Julie can attest too, our sales team is very versed in Zoom. So for the agents that work with any of these, or actually our F&F brands, all the sales execs know how to use Zoom and actually know how to teach the agents how to engage with their SOI and with the sellers and buyers. So just reach out to them and they'll help you. It's literally a Zoom away. It'd be so cliche, but
yeah,
we're pretty Zoom. I think we are considered the Zoom experts right now because we're on it so much. But it's a simple way to show the agents, and we're happy to help. So anything that we can do, I feel like right now is the perfect time. We actually have a captive audience. Normally we're chasing everyone, and right now we're scheduling back to back Zoom. So it's nice for us. It's refreshing because we want to be able to help our agents through this time.
Awesome. There's another tool that that both of you mentioned, which is called Raven. So what is Raven, and what does it do for our real estate agents?
So Julie, I think this is the time we wish we would have had the bomb, like the news alert. So we were so blessed and fortunate to be a partner with this new company that is coming into our market, and our brands are the only ones that are going to be able to kind of promote it and spearhead it in Nevada, so basically think of a Match.com for your property, Shane. So imagine you've got a buyer that has a specific need, and a listing agent in, other side of the town, not MLS, but it's off market, and say that buyer needed to find a certain property, but you guys are not listing the off market properties on the MLS. This service would actually pair that buyer with your listings, and you as the listing agent would be able to notify and actually alert your seller of these buyers that fit the criteria and need of the want of that home before you even list it. So it creates this pent-up demand. It's also great for FSBOs, so to go after the FSBO market, to show them all the buyer activity that they could generate for them without even taking the listing agreement, or it's kind of to entice them. But the biggest thing I think is I liked, and I don't know, Julie, I don't know your takeaway with this, but was having the exposure to the California agents. So there's roughly 1,400 California agents on this platform. So any property that you put in this system, those California agents are going to see it as well. So if they've got a buyer that wants to come to Nevada, this automatically pairs the two of you like a Match.com. It's really, I'm super excited. I'm super excited to roll it out with the Fidelity brand, and I think it's gonna really just impact those that utilize this service. And we're offering, I think, 6 months free, right? Julie, the first 6 months is free. So they're going to be able to have the full benefit of this added exposure for your properties, and those to capture buyers. So it's think about it as a Match.com, but for the buyer side.
I love it. I love it, Val. That's a great analogy, the Match.com. I love the California connection with so many relocating from there, and just a great listing acquisition tool to help you get a listing, to show a seller immediately. Well, let's just plug in where you are on the market and see who's looking for that. And right away, you can see the audience. So I think a great conversion tool to get more listings as well. Really excited to partner with you on that, Val.
So is it a pay service? We get to use it for 6 months free and pay, or how does that work?
So there's a free service part of it, and then there's a pro version, and obviously the pro version is got a lot more bells and whistles. But we would encourage everyone, since take advantage of the pro version, which basically gives 10 additional features. Julie, we just got trained on it. I want to say 2 days ago or so, or Friday. Yeah. So we're just now learning about it. But I honestly, I think capitalize on the free version or the pro version, and then if you don't see a value, then just drop down to the free version, which allows you to input all of your listings in and still get the added exposure to the California agents. So regardless, it's a great tool whether you go paid or free for 6.
Great information. Great information. I can't wait to use it, Valerie, because I have a listing that I want to get more buyers for, and it's challenging. So it's a luxury listings.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
This would be it. You just plug it in, and then you'll see the buyer activity or the buyer interest based on what they kind of put their wish list as. And so when they say, I'm looking for my dream home and my dream home is this, then it automatically pairs your listing, and then you would get notified. So it's really cool. It's different than the MLS drip search where you have to input the data in. This actually pairs you with the best match. That's why we kind of joke. We're like, hey, this is the Match.com for MLS, right?
Yeah,
it's the Match.com for finding properties.
And you can't get into that platform without an agent. So this is keeping the agent in the center of it, which is very important. This isn't, letting buyers and sellers match together. So you get in with an agent, and also there's an opportunity for the off market for agents. And we have to be careful with the new rules and restrictions with that. But there's definitely going to be more to come, and Val and I can set you up, set up the agents that are watching on a demo for it and check it out.
And we can do all this installation. We can do all this on Zoom, right? We'll help with the agents. We can do all this.
Oh yeah.
Good.
Everything.
Let's talk about instant notification. Is that
on Instagram?
Facebook or Instagram? What is that instant notification?
So yesterday we were chatting, the three of us, and you had asked, like, what are some things that agents can do right now? Like, what, now they've got the time, now they want to hone in on their business. Like, what are some of the quick things they can do? In Instagram, if you go in, and I just put in Shane Nguyen, and up in the upper right-hand corner, there's like 3 ... You click on the dot and it says turn on notifications. So that means that I see your feed first and foremost. So every time you post something, anytime you engage, I see that first. So you want to make sure that your clients and your SOI, their notifications are turned on. So that's kind of just a quick, easy tip on you've got some time right now, go through your Instagram, find your clients, find your sphere of influence, and make sure you turn on their notifications so you see them first. And obviously engaging, commenting, because the commenting sparks the algorithm. So when you're commenting and you're creating the algorithm, you'll get more exposure to those people that you're commenting on. And not just the like, not the heart and like. Everybody goes in hearts and likes, but it's really the commenting that kind of sparks the algorithm. So you got to make sure that you're commenting, and it could be one line, it could be one sentence, it could be anything, but commenting is key. But turning on the notifications. Julie can speak to the Facebook custom audience as well. We chatted about that. These are just a few quick things that they can do instantly.
Yeah, absolutely, Val. And on that, I would look at, there's some social media experts out there you can follow. I would follow Chelsea Pites.
Yeah.
Follow her on Instagram and Facebook. I really like Grant Wise. There's a few of them out there. going to kind of mention some names for mindset later, but what Val was mentioning on Instagram, you can be very, very efficient on Facebook, so you're not having to go through hundreds of feeds, and you can dial in onto your past clients and your SOI and commenting on them, have them all in a friends list and engage that way. And exactly like Val said, I think they say the like is like a handshake, and the actual engaging in comments is more like a hug, and getting into real interaction with them. And I'm seeing right now, I'm getting a lot of agents just saying, what do I do? And it's very fear-based, like we kind of touched on. We really don't know where we're going to be. It's probably going to be, and Shane, we mentioned before we got on the Zoom that we probably won't, you were talking to another expert. I think you said you're talking to John Gafford this morning, right? And he mentioned we're really not going to know until a couple months out of this, where I know April and May are going to be something to really watch. But I had heard somebody else mention, and I believe it was one of the Keller productivity coaches. It was actually JT Keller, and he said the next 6 months in the real estate business are going to be the toughest. They are going to be the toughest, absolutely. But that's where we're going to see the best leaders created out of that. It's how you lead your team. It's the leadership you create for your clients, the lender partners, the agents and the lender partners. It's where the great leaders will just really survive and thrive. So I'm going to say get in the right mindset, because we have some fear base out there. Follow a John Cheplack. He's amazing. Kyle Whistle out of San Diego's got an amazing Zoom lined up for tomorrow. There is education all around us. So it's time to double down on the education. And I'm going to say, I'm going to say, start looking at your expenses. Start looking at what are the line items, I'm going to say, for agents that you're getting charged. Some agents have 3 CRMs and they don't realize they have 3 CRMs. They're paying a top producer. They have part of a follow-up boss, they think. They dabbled in a Real Geek. So look at your expenses and look at what you're actually using and get rid of what you're not using.
And I was going to say right there, Julie, lean on the partners, because what many of us have, I was just on with Trish Nash earlier, and she said she realizes that she's spending money on tools that we have for free. So, lean on your vendors and lean on your partners to say, what do you guys have in the social media arena that I could possibly put my, this expense on hold for right now, or that I could possibly, not pay as much on this area that, we currently have in our arsenal of tools that we give to our partners for free. So make sure you're asking your title execs, hey, what do you have for this? What do you have for that? Like data, what do you have for this? What do you have for, it's just crazy how much we have that we can give them for free right now. And so right now, minimizing expenses, like Julie said, is huge. I think that's a big one. And then another thing is just call your clients, call your SOI. Trish said something this morning that kind of rung true, that it's literally going to stick with me even after this Corona pandemic expires, and it will, we're all going to get through it. But she said, serve regardless of the opportunity. And that just kind of rung true, because I'm like, as we're making the calls and as we're talking to our SOI, many of us are afraid to call because we don't want to have that conversation about what the market's doing, or we don't want to, we're fearful, right? As Julie says, we're fear-based. But if you call and you're just servicing them without the opportunity of what's to come, and kind of, ease their mind as to what's going on in the market based on what happened with the swine flu, based on what happened in 9/11, based on what happened 2008. All of those were market driven. This is, somebody once said this morning, this is government driven. So we are going to get through this better and faster than all the others that have occurred in the past. So take this opportunity and connect with your SOI by just calling them. Just having a simple conversation that has nothing to do with real estate. 9 times out of 10, they're going to ask you what's going on with real estate, because they know that you're the expert. So, leading with compassion and leading with service versus leading with opportunity is always the key.
I love it. I love it, Val. And when we were talking about cost too, Val and I have a lot of relationships with these companies. Some are actually under the Fidelity Title Group umbrella, and we, getting on the phone and maybe negotiating your cost with them over the next few months. Some of the CRMs are pretty pricey. I'm sure they would want to work with you. So reach out to Val and I and let us help you. We probably know somebody under in those companies, and Fidelity's brands have a relationship with them, so we can help you. I will say, I think a lot of people are going to discontinue their coaching right now, and I'm going to say that's a mistake. Working and being a part of Fidelity and working with like a Metrics, and I know, Val, you're close with that group as well. But when you watch like Brian Gubernick and a Brett Tanner really get their business started in a short sell market. I mean, you're going to see agents and teams rise to the top now because they're going to lean in or engage in the message of the moment, and they're going to help people. Like Valerie said, they're going to lead to serve, and we're seeing that already in our real estate community. So there's some great coaching out there. There's some great, even discounted coaching. I would not be firing my coach right now. I would be, sure. I would double down on that, and you can look at your line items and cross out something else. There's a local coach here, Julie Youngblood. She's part of the Metrics. If she's not coaching here locally, she will connect you with somebody else that is in that group. I'm a huge fan of that coaching group. I would follow the Jason Abrams, the Codys, the ones that run the big mega teams and know how to structure and help you structure your cost and kind of get things in order during this time, because they've already been through a market like this. And we're not supposed to say it's not really a down market, it's a changing market, it's a shifting market. So there's people that already know, there's agents that already know the great recipes and just instructions to follow. So they're out there, and Val and I can help you with that as well.
I was going to say, or they can just watch Shane's videos.
Yeah. Shane, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. There's this thing called Data Finder. What is that? So
Data Finder is one of the tools and that Julie and I use pretty extensively behind the scenes. But basically, if an agent has an SOI or they've got a database that say they don't have the current address, or they don't have an email, or they don't have a current phone number, they can give it to us, and we can actually pull that data and get their most current data for them. In addition to that, they can actually subscribe themselves through Julie and I, so we can actually, through our teams, sign them up for this service that actually gives them their current data. So I would, before, when we sit down to meet with anyone, the first thing we ask is, what does your database look like? Like, what is your, as our old coach used to say, Julie, what is our data bank, right? What does our data bank look like? So, I would encourage right now, all the conversations we're having is, how many do you have on an SOI? Like, how many do you have on an Excel spreadsheet? Like, let's go back to basic. Do you have 10 names? Do you have 20 names? Do you have 100 names? Like, let's get them on an Excel, and it's uploaded into Data Finder, and let's get all their current data. So now that you can actually have some meaningful conversations via whatever tech tool you want to use, but it all starts with the data. So many, what we found is many agents just don't know how to manually search or don't want to take the time to actually do that. You don't need to. There's systems and there's companies that we provide, that Julie and I provide, that enable us to actually get that data for the agents. And so we can streamline it and get it back faster so they can start working on their database.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
Yeah. On that note, not all data is created equal, and data is the new dollar, but getting the right data is great, and we can help you with that. But I'm going to say Valerie and I do an even better job with the strategies and best practices to use that data. So the data has gotten smarter and smarter. And a lot of what she's talking about with Data Finder and some of our other partners, imagine just skip trace on steroids, and how, because many of the agents have platforms where a consumer comes and registers and they just give a decent email address, but they say Mickey Mouse, whatever, and they don't give the right phone number because they want to search those properties and get what they can get, we're able to plug in just pieces of information from this data and, come up with all the correct, the properties that they own, all the cell phone numbers associated with their properties. It's pretty much like a 79-80% match. It's brilliant what we can help you partner with now. But even better, and we won't give all those nuggets away today, but are the best practices for that data, because there's agents sitting on a lot of data and they're not doing anything with it.
Yeah, I would say just, I think the biggest thing is just to get with your sales execs within the company that you use and see how they can help you, because as Julie can attest, we have so many things at our disposal that, sometimes we don't like to get on social media or an email and just kind of throw up and regurgitate all the things that we have. So just having that conversation with your sales exec and say, hey, I want to hone in on my SOI. Hey, I want to do more social media. Hey, I want to make calls. Like, what's the best method? What's the best practice? You got to, keep in mind, the title companies, they do over 800 to 1,000 transactions a month. So if you think about that in terms of a month, like that's how many transactions that we're seeing come and go. So we do see a lot of the best practices utilized on a daily basis that we are blessed to be able to share. Now, granted, we're not going to give away, strategic, game plans that agents are utilizing, but we can guide and we can assist and we can help you, to get where you need to go. So I think the biggest takeaway is just take advantage, right? I mean, take advantage of us while we can.
That's a great message, Valerie, and that it's different for everyone. It's not one size fits all. If you just got in the business in the last year and maybe you did 6 to 10 transactions over the year, if you're running a mega team, if you're about just, you're just branching off to hire your own buyer's agents, everyone is in a different area in their business, and that's where I think we've just been more question based, just to ask the right questions and get to know the agent or the lender and where they're at in their business, and how we can layer in, how our tools and our guidance and best strategies, practices, the message of the moment can layer in and help them. And I think the role of the title sales exec has changed dramatically over the last 5 years, and it's going to change to come as well.
Yeah, I agree.
That's how business ongoing changing. It never stays the same. Whatever we learn today become obsolete in 12 months. So
yeah, it's true.
Yeah,
it's true.
Are there
except video, huh, Shane? Except video.
Except videos. Videos pretty awesome. Yeah, videos get you out there.
Shane, I got to give a shout out to Shane. He's been in my ear, like, I don't know for how long. Val, where's your video? Val, where's your video? I'm like, yeah. So I know I need to do more video, and I look to him to say, okay, I'm going to start today. So thanks for pushing me out of my comfort zone, because this is definitely outside my comfort zone, Shane.
Yeah, awesome. And I noticed that you're becoming more comfortable doing videos as we pretty much don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Do or die. This is the situation that you're like, luck. You got to do videos, or else you can't be in front of people doing Zooming. So yeah. And then the more Zooming we do, obviously, the more comfortable I am. So, I want to be really good at doing Facebook Live. Really good at it. I want to be able to say whatever I want without feeling uncomfortable or worrying about what I look like, what I sound like. And I said, you know what? I'm going to bring something valuable to everybody. I'm going to connect everybody together, bring something everybody, like some nuggets every day to somebody or anybody. And I'm going to do more Facebook Live. And what's better way than to invite guests and talk about what's relevant and what's important to our agents and our people and anybody. So it's working. I'm feeling better and better every day. And I just want to be really good at this so I can be out there all the time.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you're doing a great job. You're definitely leading the forefront.
Oh, thank you. Really appreciate that. Are there many free marketing platforms out there that agents can use that you can share with agents?
So many. I mean, Julie, I even our NetSheet app, right? I mean, you'd look at our NetSheet app. When I said, so I guess it's not free because if you do the premium, which is $10 a year, so was that $1, less than $1 a month? But that has infographics that change every single month in terms of like branded literature that you can push out to your SOI through Facebook, through Instagram, that actually is catered just for the real estate agent. So there's like probably, I don't know, Julie, did you last look? Like I think there was 40 or something new products that I saw within Palm Agent that has this at the agent's fingertips that is branded with the agent. So it's like having a graphic designer in your app that you could customize the message, the sales price, however the narrative that you want to give, it actually is in your app. So that one has just transcended time. I mean, you talk about the market when it's hot, when it's down, when it's that app alone can carry any agent through regardless of their experience. So I would say start there with the Palm Agent app, and Julie, her team or our team can give you access to that. So it's literally the best app out there.
They're doing free webinars this week, kind of updating that, just kind of back to the basics on that app. And Val is right. The marketing tools layered within that app that are they're just dialed into where we are now. And with
iBuyers too, right? It has an iBuyer section.
Yeah, absolutely. It's that app is brilliant. There's so much learning in that too. It's time to learn. Double down on education.
Exactly.
Yeah, Breakthrough Broker is another one that we utilize, that they have all free stuff within Breakthrough. Yeah, that just easy to use and free, you know. So, well, I shouldn't say free because I think the title companies are kind of right, Julie? I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't say free. Yeah. We're kind of, make sure our attorneys are not watching this.
They're going to bleep this out, or there's going to be a black bar over our eyes at that point.
Check on us tomorrow.
One last question before we end this meeting or this interviews. We're doing, obviously we can't be in front of people. We can't be in large group of people. Are you doing any Zoom training weekly, or do you have them scheduled out yet? And in addition to that question, are we doing any CE classes on Zoom?
We have a virtual schedule that's out that we're just starting, and so we've got something almost every other day that's virtual. Now, CE, I think Julie and I are talking about getting a schedule. Many of the CE instructors, because it is now, I guess, approved through the division to go online. So we just have to coordinate with the instructors as to which ones are set up to do it. And we should have a schedule out pretty soon, like within the next 30 days to do CE. But the virtual schedules are out, and we do have our sales teams are so advanced. I'm completely just in awe of our team, because and same with Julie's team, they kind of took this tragic event and just adapted in ways that they just amaze me, because now they're doing videos, they're doing how-to, they're doing tutorials on YouTube, they're showing agents how they could do virtual open houses. I mean, it's just staggering to believe. Like I just completely in awe of their tech level. And so I think you're going to really see the difference of your sales execs rise to the occasion. And I know Julie's got a fantastic team over there. I could speak to my team that every time I open up an email or a text from them, I'm in awe. I'm like, how did you do that? You know, so they're just they're so far advanced with sharing the screen and showing, and all of this translates to how can the agent capitalize on this with their SOI. So we're hoping that the virtual classes will show them just some little nuggets here and there to kind of connect with their database a little bit better.
Yeah, we're doing a great job with that. I know Val's team and my team. I jumped on one of my sales exec Zoom the other day. They had 40 agents on there, and that was amazing to see. Yeah. So there were 2 of them running it because one was fielding the questions. So that's something we can help with too. And when you start getting into larger group Zooms, you got to kind of control the environment a little more. But just giving out some great nuggets, just those strategies of, it's really all about engagement right now with your SOI. So all the classes built around that, but I feel like we've been doing more. And some of my
Yeah.
sales execs said, we're working harder. What's going on, Julie?
I think it's hard to.
Yeah, there's no drive time between
Yeah.
it's back-to-back Zoom and
Yeah.
putting a note on the chair. I know Val and I were in a meeting the other day. I said, can you watch and take notes for me? I'm like, got to go to the bathroom right now. We're kind of joking around. But I think we're being more efficient, and we're here. We're obviously not going anywhere. I'm going to give another plug to the financial strength to our company. And just 1 out of every 2 transactions here in our county are with a Fidelity brand, and I'm going to 1 out of every 2 are written on Fidelity paper across our country. So we're here. We're going to be innovative. We're going to be creative. We want to keep our agents engaged. We want to keep you moving. We genuinely want to help you.
And think about this, what Julie just said too, like in terms of the F&F brands, like you've got Tycor, Fidelity, Lawyers in Chicago that all operate under the same umbrella, which leads to the title. So like if you have an issue at, let's just say Lawyers, I'm going to pick on Lawyers. You have an issue at Lawyers, you can contact us and we can assist as well. So that's what it means in strength in numbers, because everything that we do under one roof. And so although we compete against each other in the field, but at the end of the day, we're one big family. So I think that speaks volumes in terms like this, when, there's a lot of transactions right now that need extra attention and need extra guidance. So reach out to us, because we can help regardless of if it's within our brand or not, so we're doing a lot of that coaching, therapy, offline. So
and we've seen that where some of the other and they may be some smaller brands, or they didn't have the infrastructure to close a transaction on time, and where transactions have transferred over to Valerie's team or my team, just due to that we have that strength and that infrastructure in place. And it was really that we didn't skip a beat on that. I think our I still call my title plant, that sounds so old school, but our title operation never came into the building on that Monday, March 16th. They were set up that Sunday from home. They never had to report to even get into an issue with social distancing. The entire operation that runs all 4 main brands. Yeah,
that to me, that was remarkable in itself, because our title company, like she was saying, our title side, the actual prelims, they were operating from home the minute the word went out, and there were no issues. Now there's been, there's a lot of title companies out there that kind of offshore their stuff. They were susceptible, right? I mean, there was issues that occurred because you're dealing with other countries during this time, and so nobody's as equipped as the United States in technology in terms of making sure business as usual. So that was pretty prideful for Julie and I to wake up and go, our agents are still getting their title prelims. We're still conducting business as normal. In a manner in which it's still done in the United States. So that to me was a very prideful moment.
Great.
Hi, Shane.
Hi, Shane.
I don't think there's going to be anyone else listening on this.
My video here, and she's jumping like I'm not here.
I love it. You
know what's interesting? She knows she can get away with it.
Yeah.
I love it.
As soon as I turn this off, she's really good. She's quiet.
It's like, I'm going to take advantage right now.
Yeah. Taking advantage of daddy. She knows.
Yep.
Yeah. Time. This is awesome. This is amazing. So obviously this is the first time we're doing this, and it's so, there was so much information I just learned. And I know for a fact that later I'm going to go back to this same video and watch it again, because you gave me so many information that I can use to be productive and to be really good in what I'm doing right now. So thank you for your time.
Thank
you. And like Julie said earlier, that mindset is very important.
Yeah.
Stay positive.
For sure.
Think positive,
And control the narrative as an agent, right? Control your guys' narrative, because your clients are watching what you're posting. So control it I mean, you guys have it at your fingertips to
Exactly. I just want to tell everybody out there, be careful who you follow, what you listen, because not everything is good for you. You know, it's good to know important data that are given to us every day, but if you just sit there and watch all this negative news and people dying and all that, that's just going to more, I don't know, depressed, more sadness. You know, there are many good other information that you can use out there that can uplift you and also help you get better. Like this video right here, there's so many information on this video that can help your business that you can use instantly right away. With that being said, don't forget to contact your sales rep. And these are all information that you can get right now, and hurry and call them. Take advantage. The first one on the, be the first one on the book.